Hello traders, and welcome to a new video, an organizational video for my channel. So many users can go to my channel and get a bit overwhelmed because I have about 200 videos, almost 200 videos at this point, and it's kind of hard for traders to know, well, where do I even start? You know, there's so much on this guy's channel. And what I wanted to do here is just pick 18 videos, and I separated them from beginner level to master level, not on difficulty, but the level that I label them are based on the progression that I would recommend you as a new trader or more advanced trader to go through. So without further ado, let's go take a look at 18 videos, and I packaged them into a course. And of course, this part is free because these videos are all on my YouTube, and all the links to all these videos will be in the links in the description below. So let's go into what I found on my channel to be the most helpful videos for traders for making money in the markets. Now, before we start on that, I have just released my Mastery of Price Action and Volume guide. It is called Gravity, a Psychological Approach to Price Action and Volume. The 18 videos that I'm going to be mentioning today, completely free, of course, because they're all on my YouTube. This is not free. This is step-by-step strategies on how to trade price action and volume. And it also comes with private Discord access with additional challenges. So just a quick example of what my price action volume guide does have, because a lot of people have been asking and wanting screenshots and wanting to learn a bit more. It has stuff like this. This is one question from Gravity that's not actually on the 278-page course guide that you get when you buy the guide, but is on the private access Discord. We also have trading challenges. So these kinds of challenges are meant for you to trade with real capital, but with very small amounts of capital, and to participate in a challenge. And you can see that some traders have done this, such as Jay Brizzy. What he did is he participated in this challenge for liquidations on Ethereum, where I told traders, find liquidations on any coin and trade them. Trade, you know, against the liquidations, and he did it, and he bought here and was able to sell for a profit using liquidation data. And not only do we have these challenges, but we also have users posting live trades. So if you want a place where you can post live trades, participate in challenges, for example, Lonely Rebel, he posted massive stop hunt, tons of liquidations. He bought at 37.10 on BTC, on XBT, and he took profit, as you can see. Trade closed here, volume spike, plus we reached underwater level. So that's, you know, quite the profit there. And the examples in the Gravity guide are going to be pretty similar to the examples that you could find on the Discord. So if you want to find a place where you can post your trades, participate in challenges, and increase your pattern recognition, I recommend you go check out my Gravity guide. All right, now to begin on what I laid out for today's video. What I would first recommend before anyone starts, before we talk about charts, price action, volume, is to really master the psychology behind what you have to do in the markets to succeed. So these are the 3 videos that I laid out for the beginner level. If you're completely new to trading, I would recommend watching these videos. You can see what each of these videos I tag them as. The first one is learn how to help manage your emotions. I think that management of emotions does come before you even learn how to trade. You want to have the emotional and psychological part of day trading down, or begin to work on it before you make any trades, because you don't want to be chasing losses, you know, right off the bat. Second is risk-reward ratios, and this is really what helped me a lot transition from, you know, profitable here and there to more consistently profitable throughout month to month. What I found was, to control my own psychology, the best thing that I could do was to trade more like a mathematician. So crypto trading risk-reward ratios, this is going to help you think more in percentage, break-even win percents, risk-reward, how much you risk to how much you make, which helps a lot with keeping your discipline and letting your stop loss or letting your take profit get hit without adjusting them constantly. Third video I'd recommend is stop loss placement, which is where I show you guys how to place your stop losses, which whenever you take a trade, you should be putting your stop losses somewhere, how to protect yourself from excess market risk. And I also have a section in my Gravity guide that tells you guys, or that shows the best strategy for placing your stop losses as well. And then if you're beyond the beginner level, and you've mastered the psychological part and you're ready to go to the next level, I recommend these 3 videos of mine. I don't think I really have to explain what these 2 mean. It kind of speaks for itself here. The third one is going to show you how you can look at an order book, look at the limit orders, limit buy orders and limit sell orders, and also look at market buy orders and market sell orders, see how they interact, and you can begin to predict supply and demand runs. A demand run is a very short-term move. It's when you see a large amount of bids popping up in an order book, and then you see a period of market buying. Eventually, that period of market buying and those large bids either disappear, and then people start selling, and the demand run is over, or price just stalls and goes flat. So if you want to learn more about how to take advantage of order book trading and really getting your order filled at the best possible price point, then I recommend you go check out supply and demand runs. All right, so you're beyond that. You've locked down the psychological part. You are beginning to look at volume. You're beginning to look at price action, and you finally begin to look at the order book and interpret how the supply and demand runs work. Now I'd recommend going a little bit more advanced into looking at the volume profile. So the volume profile is also known as volume by price. It shows us horizontal volume instead of vertical volume. And what I find very helpful about this is you can find points of high volume and look to trade them as support and resistance. Also mentioned, we have scalping BitMEX liquidations, and also you can look at my second video if you've already seen this one. I made 2 other videos on liquidation hunting called, I think it's like liquidating altcoins BitMEX or something like that, and also liquidating altcoins whale calls or something like that. You can find that all in the links in the description below. So I would recommend looking at these 2. I will say that this is a bit of a jump, that advanced is a bit of a jump from this. Novice and beginner, these are pretty beginner level stuff that a lot of traders may understand. These 2 videos, especially this one, may get a little bit more complex, but I think that I wanted to throw this in for level 3 for advanced for videos to watch, just to look at price action volume in a way that most beginners typically don't look at it. Because I think that it's important to have a little bit more of advanced analysis even when you start, so you don't fall into common price action and volume traps that many traders like to spring. And then finally, I also attach bias trigger execution. This is a video that shows you, if you want to use technical indicators, sentiment indicators, any kind of indicator that you would like to use, how to use them in a system that makes sense and that has a clear edge. So if you're interested in that, you can learn how to create your own trading system, discretionary trading system, sentiment, technical analysis, price action, Fibonacci's, order book, whatever you want. All right, now we get into proficient. So at this stage, I would expect that if you begin watching these videos, I'd expect that you understand the psychology of trading and the risks of trading, part 1. You understand price action and volume in at least a basic sense, and you also understand the psychology behind how those price action and volume patterns occur. And then 3, I would hope that you would start to understand how liquidations impact the market, look how indicators can go into a trading system, and also maybe look a bit at the volume profile. Now we look at sentiment, which is the proficient level. Perhaps you've been trading for a bit, and you're ready to take things to the next level. This is where we get into sentiment. The first thing that I would recommend is gauging social sentiment. And I have a video, cryptocurrency social sentiment, that can show you guys how to use various tools to try to find when the retail traders of the market are very bullish or very bearish, or saying very bullish things about the market or saying very bearish things about the market. I would also recommend taking a look at Practice Makes Perfect. This is just a video that encompasses a lot of my sentiment videos all into just a 15-minute power session. So if you want the most bang for your buck in here, I would say reading Bitcoin sentiment is a great video to look at. The third video that I made is the COT report. And what this shows you in this video is how you can interpret institutional position data on CME futures and SIBO futures, and also how you can interpret professional traders' positions and retail traders' positions on those 2 exchanges that I mentioned. I'd recommend these 3 in conjunction, because I think that if you use all 3, I think that that can give you a much better edge than, let's say, just using COT report or just looking at social sentiment. Social sentiment and market sentiment, which are these two, do work quite well together. So I recommend you go check those out. All right, so at this point you have mastered sentiment. You've seen the 3 videos on sentiment and you understand them. And if you don't understand sentiment, then you can feel free to just continue watching the other videos in my sentiment playlist on my channel, because those may help you as well. So after you've mastered that, we get into the more of the expert part of the analysis. And to be honest, of all of the strategies that I use as my #1 indicator, it would probably be order depth. And order depth is really just us looking at how many people want to buy and how many people want to sell on a specific coin. Now, the first thing, but before we talk about order depth, in what I included in expert is a market theory video. I made a video called Predicting a Trend, where we looked at uptrends and downtrends, and we tried to gauge how many traders here are already positioned long, how many traders here are already positioned short, how many more available buyers are there, and how many more available sellers there are. I know that this is a little bit more of a simpler topic for predicting a trend, but I wanted to put it a bit later into the 18 video, 18 recommended videos for level 1 through 6 traders. I wanted to recommend a bit later because I think it gives a good balance of using sentiment, using order depth, back with using price action volume, and also just maintaining a psychological approach to price action volume and not just relying on sentiment and order depth indicators and ignoring the actual market dynamics and psychology that occur in the market. So if you want to learn how to gauge how many buyers or sellers there are in a downtrend or an uptrend, recommend watching that video. Now, my main indicator, my favorite indicator currently, order depth. I'd recommend just to start to watch these 2 videos. Bitcoin Bid Ask Sum. This shows you how to use the site known as Bitcoinity, and their tool is called BAS, Bitcoin Bid Ask Sum. And like I had said before, what this can show you is how you can see how many traders in the short term, in the medium term, in the long term want to buy something, how many traders in the short term, medium term, and long term want to sell something. And when we see that a lot of people want to buy and not many people want to sell at a certain price point, well, we expect the price will rise until that demand begins to equal supply, or more likely, that supply becomes higher than demand, meaning there are more limit orders to sell than there are limit orders to buy. So if you're curious about order depth and more of an advanced analysis that's a little bit more down the road for most traders, I recommend you go check out Bitcoin Bid Ask Sum and historical bids and offers of altcoins. But however, this is a bit different, and I wouldn't recommend just stopping there. I would recommend taking a look at all of the videos in my order book and order flow playlists, and some in sentiment as well. Any video that mentions the BAS indicator, Bitcoin Bid Ask Sum, and any video that mentions MDR, like MDR, dominance of supply and demand, I would recommend you go check out not just these 2. These 2 can act as a great beginning analysis for looking at order depth, but I would watch my other videos as well, because I think that the more videos you watch, the more you swim around with these kinds of indicators, the more you immerse yourself in these indicators with these videos, I think that the more natural it'll come to interpretation. All right, now we get to the final level, mastery. Now, only, I would say, 2 of these videos are really that difficult. One of them, the first one really isn't that difficult, but the reason I wanted to put this in mastery in the final level of this 18 video playlist that I'm making here is that I think that by this stage, if you've learned so much in the market, you have so many indicators under your control, this stage is where you begin to increase your skill level, and you really move out from the stage of, oh, I'm learning, I'm picking up new information, I'm learning. And you go into the practice stage, which is where I've already learned this thing, and I'm going to get very, very good at using it. And when I get very good at using it, I'm going to get even better at using it. So if you want to improve your pattern recognition with any indicator, with any analysis, I recommend you watch that video, and then put together a plan for yourself for how to practice the indicator or the analysis of your choice. Now, the other 2 videos are the ones that are a little bit more complex, but not terribly difficult. The second one is just a little bit more fast-paced, and I would expect that you've achieved level 4, you know, proficiency in sentiment. Because if you haven't seen a lot of my sentiment videos, then this video might be a bit tough to watch. It's an 18-minute powerhouse quiz on sentiment. So what I do is I show different kinds of patterns overlaid with sentiment, and you have to guess whether that's bullish or bearish. So it's kind of hard to get all correct, but if you've seen the sentiment videos and begin to understand them, then it may come a bit easier. And then the final video, video number 18, that I would recommend is auction market theory. Now this is just an additional video that you can use as well. These two are more summary videos, I would say, and this one's more for practice. Auction market theory is just a different way of looking at consolidation market structure. So when the market's moving sideways, you can use new kinds of techniques through auction market theory with the volume profile. So if you're curious about how to interpret, you know, volume profile with consolidation price movement, then auction market theory video might be for you. So that's the 18 videos that I would recommend you guys go check out. Again, I am going to make a playlist of all 18 of these videos, just watch each one of those videos, you know, back to back. And what I can also do is attach any additional videos that I may find helpful in the links in the description below. With this, when you watch these videos, I would recommend you take a look at the indicators that I talk about. You pause the video from time to time and just, you know, think about what you're looking at, think about the visuals. And I know it's not fun, but I'd also recommend taking notes on just the indicators and taking notes and making annotations, and maybe printing some figures out, because I found that traders who do that and who take it very seriously with their practice and what they do with that tend to have more of an edge in the market than traders who just speed skip through, you know, videos and don't really pick up much. All your choice, of course. Yeah, go click in the description below, and you can get the price action volume guide. And that is another way that you can go even further beyond mastery, get a lot of practice examples, get a lot of market experience in a very short period of time, and also join my Discord group, my private Discord group, where you can post trades and participate in challenges and really begin to become more of a professional day trader. With that, happy trading, and I'll see you soon.